Congratulations, Richard Reppert Sr. and Richard Reppert Jr. Georgia Pacific is honored to partner with Walls and Ceilings to present you both with this award. In reading all of the messages from your peers and from your colleagues, it's clear that your leadership has helped you build an incredible legacy. And so we're proud to celebrate this achievement with you. Again, congratulations.
Good day and welcome to this episode of If Walls Could Talk. I'm John Wyatt, editor of Walls and Ceilings. Joining me is our group publisher, Jill Bloom. And our special guests today are Richard Sr. and Richard Jr. Reppert of R.L. Reppert, a wall and ceiling subcontractor located in eastern Pennsylvania. The company has been featured in Walls and Ceilings many times, and among those consistently making our annual top 50 contractors list. We are so pleased to have them join us today.
Thank you. Thanks.
So, Richards, in your mind, what does it mean to be named a top contract?
Obviously, there's a lot of very qualified contractors throughout the United States. So to be on there as a top 50 contractor in the United States for 8 consecutive years is something we're really proud of. Back when we started, Rick started in 1973. He looked to do quality work, give quality service to all his projects, and obviously make sure we take care of the employees that are doing that work. So to be recognized for the top 50 contractors is something that we're proud of, to be able to continue that legacy that was started back then.
Excellent. And Jill, I know you'd like to have them share what virtues it means to make a top contractor.
For sure. So gentlemen, what do you feel like it takes to be a top contractor, and what virtues come to mind to be among the best that you guys exemplify?
I feel like, again, the quality work on projects. Having that, we look back a couple years ago on the general contractors that we worked for and found that 88% of our work is repeat business from the year before. Some of these, Rick started working for back, in the 80s, and we still work for today, if not earlier than that. So to be able to continue that and move on different generations with different people changing throughout those businesses and still work for them, they're hiring us because they know what we're going to do and what we're going to give them on each and every project. Second part of that is always our employees. We look to make sure that we take care of our employees. We give them everything they need to be able to take care of their personal life. And we want to make sure they're safe throughout any of their projects they're on. So it's kind of a big thing for us to focus on quite a bit.
Those are certainly the qualifying attributes that I would say make a top contractor. So again, Jill and I want to congratulate you on that. So Let's just talk about how this year is going to fold and what you see next year. How's it going?
Good. So the first half of this year, we've had a lot of school projects and hospitals that we do quite often. It's kind of our bread and butter for the summer time frame. Specifically, those projects have real short schedules, tight deadlines, and definitely require a lot of coordination. So they're looking good. We have some nice projects coming up in the pipeline that whether we've been awarded them or are about to be awarded them. Some good high profile jobs that we're really working on and proud to be a part of.
Well, I know Jill wanted to hear about some of those projects.
Okay. Yeah, please. We're really excited. It's always great to hear about what's happening and what's in the hopper. But what are some of your favorite projects going on that you have in the hopper right now?
Yeah, so 2 jobs we have coming up. They're real large scale drywall projects. One is wood framed and the other one's metal framed. They're 5-story buildings. The one project in itself has 1.2 million square foot of drywall in it. So it's one of those production jobs where you're going to put a lot of people on there to work and get the production done, get the board up, finish, get it ready for paint, and continue to move on throughout the project. So those are always fun ones to do. They go fast. There's a lot of moving parts all at one time. Just something we got to be ahead of and be prepared for.
Now, this question is for both of you, but Rick Jr. and Rick Sr., what in your mind are the biggest challenges facing the wall and ceiling contractor today?
I think really employees finding additional new skilled employees. It's very difficult in this market.
So labor is still consistent, obviously.
Yes.
Agreed. So a lot of some of the employees we have started when Rick started the company, or they're around that same time frame. So, we have employees who've been with us 45 years, 30 years, 20 years, depending on, when they started. They're at that point where they're either going to retire or get out of the construction industry. So we utilize them to help train our next generation of workforce coming up. But, every generation has different attributes of how well they work and things like that. So as we get new people in, you got to handle them differently or move throughout the projects differently with them. So we're having to look at different ways to offset the lack of the workforce that's available to us anymore.
Well, Jill has actually some special news she'd like to share with you before we wrap things up. So, Jill, would you care to tell the two Ricks what that is?
I will. So, every year we have a special award that we give out. It's called our Leadership Award. And, we recognize, individuals who help to shape the future of our industry through leadership. And that honor celebrates more than just business success. It highlights those who lead with vision, integrity, and, like you were just saying, the commitment to elevate others. And we consider these nominees, and we really look for somebody that goes beyond the day-to-day demands of the job. These are true leaders in our industry that not only build strong companies like you guys have been doing, but you invest in your people and you share knowledge generously like you have with us. And it truly sets a great example of professionalism that everybody in the industry looks up to. And so our Leadership Award this year, we are giving to you two, both of you.
Great.
So congratulations on being our 2025 recipient of the Walls and Ceilings Leadership Award.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. We truly appreciate that. It shows, the hard work pays off, and, the commitment to the employees and your job, more than just being a job, really pays off. So we do appreciate that. Absolutely.
And we've got some fun things for you guys as well. But we wanted to kind of lead you in thinking we were just going to talk about top 50. But guess what? Surprise. We had more in mind for you today. So you guys, thank you again for everything, all the time you've taken to tell your story, because it really is inspiring. It helps. What do they say? A rising tide raises all boats. And that is truly what you guys have been doing. So thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Well said, Jill. And again, congratulations to the two Ricks. Again, this means a lot to us to name you this. Rick, you and I, that's Rick Jr., you and I have basically had a working relationship for the past several years. You just shared a recent story of meeting Walls and Ceilings at a show. I don't know how many years ago that was, maybe 10 years back.
So March in 2018, my sister and I flew down to Orlando, Florida to attend the Intex Expo. First thing we saw when we walked in was a flyer for Walls and Ceiling magazine. I believe it said top 100 contractors. And I remember picking that up and saying, we're going to get in this magazine. And my sister said, there's a lot of contractors out there throughout the United States. Yeah. We're from Pennsylvania. What makes you think we're going to get in there? And I said, we'll get in there. And I put it in my bag.
You're like,
yeah.
What do they say? Your skeptics are your best friends.
Yeah. So 2018 was our first year for the top 50 contractors. And in October of 2018, we were featured on the magazine cover of Walls and Ceiling magazine. So, and then we've won, obviously, the top 50 contractors every year since then. And it's just really something we pride ourselves in. We have the magazine cover with a big plaque hanging up here in our office. I mean, it's definitely something
awesome.
We're proud of. We have copies of the magazine and stuff. So it's definitely something we're proud of, to be able to, go back to that Orlando trip, just stopping down there to check out the Wall and Ceiling Expo and seeing that flyer, and then, obviously building to this now. So it's a great accomplishment and movement forward.
It's amazing what happens when you kind of show up to see what's going on.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. Gentlemen, if anybody has any questions just about your company, what's your website? Where can people go to check out who this Leadership Award recipient is?
So our website is www.rlreppert.com. and we're also on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Great. Yes. And if anybody has any questions for us, it's wconline.com.
That's all the time we have. So again, I want to say thank you to our two special guests, Richard Sr. and Richard Jr., Reppert of R.L. Reppert. Congratulations to them, and thank you for listening to this special podcast of If Walls Could Talk.